I'm Warren Davis, and you're watching the Evercade Effect.
Evercade Effect.
Welcome to the Evercade Effect. This is Ed, and yes, we're going to talk about what Blaze should have done with the Evercade Alpha. If you haven't seen my first impressions video, I'm going to go ahead and I'll put a card up here. I'll put it in the description below. But I really wanted to make and do a follow-up video. You can tell by my shirt and by the thumbnail. It's no secret that I'm a huge fan of Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. And let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. And that if you're going to order one of these or both of these, and this is the way that you want to play Evercade Alpha, you want to play the Mega Man games, you want to play the Street Fighter games, you want to play them on a Raspberry Pi, you want to play them on whatever device, there's no wrong answer, all right? So I'm not going to take away from your enjoyment. These are just my personal feelings and what I think Blaze should have gone ahead and done. So we're going to get to that. Yes, I'm going to be comparing these to the arcade one-ups. I feel it's a good baseline. And before I get into that, really quickly, I'm just going to tell you why. And for me personally, I got into Evercade for the nostalgia aspect. When I saw that they had 2 Namco collections, despite the fact that they are a console, that really influenced me into buying into the Evercade system. Now, Capcom is very popular, Street Fighter is very popular. However, I don't think there is a Gen Xer out there who doesn't like Pac-Man, who isn't into Pac-Man, who doesn't find nostalgic. And I think this would have been a better selling points, and we would have gotten a better section of games. Just hear me out. For me personally, like when I play like Street Fighter, like Hyper Fighting or Super Street Fighter, I don't want to go back and play the Championship Edition. I don't want to go back and play the original. I don't want to play those downgraded versions. Now, if that's nostalgia for you, that's fine. But they're a lot slower, right? Go back and play some of the earlier Street Fighter 2s. It's just they're a lot slower. You don't get all the characters. You don't get all the cool things. Same with Alpha. Like, I understand there's people out there that want to play like the first Street Fighter Alpha. But, if I have Street Fighter Alpha 3, I'm not going to go back and play Street Fighter Alpha 1 and 2. That's just me. So, yeah, we get a lot of the similar games. And then on the second collection, the Mega Man games, I don't know. They're okay, but they're not the greatest. And then, of course, we already had Strider, and we already had Final Fight, on the Evercade EXP. So not a lot of variety there. And of course, the big elephant in the room is that they're missing some type of HDMI or mini HDMI out, especially if you're going to be playing Street Fighter without any online capabilities. 2 people are going to be kind of crammed, being on that screen. And I think if they had an HDMI out, this would have added and been huge. Maybe they couldn't because Capcom wouldn't allow it, because then it would have been more like a VS-type console. We couldn't play the Namco collections. So with that set aside, I think it would have been better if we went a different way. Like I said, there's a lot of Namco fans out there. People in the Evercade community have really been wanting like a Namco arcade collection, and then with having the slots on it, play your Evercade games would have been icing on the cake. And then having that HDMI out, oh my god! And even if we didn't have the HDMI out, let me go ahead and show you here, kind of do some comparison and kind of go over the cost of also why I believe this Alpha is a little bit overpriced, kind of compared. And I mean, yes, you do get the Evercade slots, but let's take a look. And again, we're going to be comparing some of this to Arcade 1-Up, because I think it's the closest thing, right? So if we go ahead and if we take a look here. So first we have a Miss Pac-Man, right? You have the 8-inch color screen. You get 5 games. Now keep in mind, if they did go and do this form factor, you're going to be limited to only playing Tate mode games, which I think that's fine, right? Because you don't want to play these arcade games with the borders around them. I mean, you could, but you want to try to play them as natively as possible so they look great. So that would be one downside to this, but I think it would be fine. But that they went ahead and let's say they created 2 Pac-Mans, a Miss Pac-Man and a Pac-Man. I'll start with the Miss Pac-Man first. You can see that, you got your 8-inch LCD screen. And for this one, you get 5 games instead of 6, but you get Miss Pac-Man, which is excellent, right? Who doesn't love Miss Pac-Man? Get Super Pac-Man, which is all right. You get Galaxian, who doesn't love Galaxian? Rompers I'm not as familiar with, but King and Balloon, oh my god. King and Balloon is a fantastic game. So this would have been a better lineup, in my opinion. And even without having HDMI out, it would sit on my desk. I would go ahead and play it. I would go ahead and get a lot of replay value out of this because, I'm sorry. I'm not just going to jump in and play one player Street Fighter. I'm not going to jump in and play Mega Man or the other games. with this, I have been looking for a solution to jump in and play me some Pac-Man. And yeah, it would be, it definitely would be cool to have the Evercade slot. So let's take a look at the price of this. You'll notice this is only $149. I mean, yes, there isn't a VS slot, but it's a lot cheaper. For this, you're not really going to need those upgraded Sanwa buttons. I wouldn't think for these type of games, but yeah, this is more of a realistic price point. And you can see it appears to be really like the same quality as what the alpha is going to be made out of. If you kind of take a look here, and then we also have a couple of Pac-Man versions. Before we get to the Pac-Man version, I do want to point out the Pac-Man Partycade. Yes, this is a completely different form factor, and it hangs on the wall. But for $200, so even cheaper than even yet still cheaper, you get this. I'm sure you'll remember the Partycade hangs on the wall or the back of door. And look, you get 12 games, right? You get Pac-Man, Pac-Land, which is great. Pac-Man Plus and Super Pac-Man are pretty good. Pac and Pal, Pac-Mania, both Galaxian and Galaga, both Dig Dugs. We get Mappy, we get Rompers. So you get a lot more games. Yes, you don't have the slot here to play your Evercade, but still, I'm just pointing out the different values that you would get here. Now let's go ahead and take a look. There's two different Pac-Mans, and yes, you'll notice these are sold out. They do come back in stock. You can also get them through Amazon as well. And so let's take a look at this. This Pac-Man Countercade. Again, about the same quality that you're going to see in the Alpha. 8-inch screen, and we do get, how many games do we get? I think this one, yeah, we do get 5 games. And we get Dig Dug, hell yes. We get Pac-Man, again, Pac and Pal, but we get Mappy. Oh my God, I love Mappy. Tower of Draga, I apologize, mispronounced that, which is an all right game, but still, these games are replayable. Jump in and out. We get the arcade versions of them. We get the arcade stick. And the price on this is still $169. And then there's another version here. You get this version of it, 4 games, right? This one is more Galaga themed, as you can see here. Still same 8-inch screen, but you do both get like Galaga and Galaxian. So, if we're looking closer, let's say to the $200 price, because this is $179. What if we have Pac-Man, Galaga, Galaxian, and then we jump back on here, and then they throw on they throw on like Dig Dug and Mappy? That would still. That would still be good, and this to me, like, it has the nostalgia. I think it's gonna reach more people. I really wish they would have gone with this, because people have really been wanting an Namco arcade for a long time. They've been thinking about a Super Pocket, but how cool would this be to have in this form factor? And here's something else I just do want to point out. Granted, just look at this. They're not going to get a riser or anything, but this is with the 17-inch screen, the 4-foot tall Miss Pac-Man from Walmart. You can get that for $300. So I'm just kind of comparing this to the upgraded deluxe one with the Sanwa buttons and all that. And look at all these, and you get a lot more games. Again, you don't have the built-in Evercade slot. And here's the list of games right here: Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Pac-Man, basically all the games that I just talked about. We get all of them here. So I just wanted to kind of point out that there are different solutions, and I think you do get a better value, for your dollar. And you have to ask yourself, is it really that important to have the Evercade slots connected to it? Yes, it's cool. You can play more of the games, but there's a lot of games maybe you don't want to play. You're still not really going to be able to play. Centipede is good because we don't have the trackball. I just thought it was interesting. I really wish that Blaze would have gone with this. I can definitely tell you that if they did, people would be a lot more excited, because we haven't gotten any Namco arcade. We've seen Capcom arcade. It's a lot less exciting. Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Do you think this would have been better as is, even without the HDMI, if Blaze did go ahead and release this version of a Pac-Man, or we just have to maybe wait for the Super Pocket? Let me know in the comment section below. I am going to go ahead and thank all my channel members. Thank you so much, everyone, for checking out and watching. Bye-bye. Points, Crashline, Mr. Shua, Immortal Sojourn, Sucker MC, Amber Cummings.